Morning, folks. Welcome back. Want the old bastard in the corner again? Well, first of all, another couple noticed popped up there yesterday. New subs. Welcome to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope you decide to stick around. Make yourself known in the comments if you want to. You don't have to. You don't have to at all. But it's nice to hear other people's views on what I talk about and what the guys in here think of things. So make yourself known if you want to. You're more than welcome. And oh, surprise, Monday. We actually had Monday's video. Didn't have any comments removed. There's a first. Anyway. The two bills that got pushed through very rapidly, Borders Bill and the Policing Bill. Now, it's funny how, especially the Policing Bill, was rushed through, knowing that there's going to be a big protest this weekend, and knowing that lot, the shit shower in the House of Power, are pissing off for Christmas. So they're not going to be taking any of the flack for whatever happens. Now, as I said yesterday, this is supposed to be a huge protest by all accounts. And literally what happens there is going to be down to caressing her dicks and little drones. They've already started again in London, by the way. There was small protests going on yesterday and the police weren't too bad. But there were arrests made. In particular, Santa, who tried to handcuff himself to Downing Street gates. Well, sorry, mate, but yeah, that's going to get you arrested every time with what's going on at the moment. But yeah, it's going to be down to her and her good little drones. So, only time will tell on that. Now, we've got the cost of living is absolutely going batshit at the moment. It's just going up and up and up. It's getting to the point where there's a lot of things out there now that are necessities that people just can't afford, especially those on benefits, you know, like food and fuel. And the government are doing absolutely nothing about it, although it is well within their powers. Now, this is not a theory, right? This is just a thought in my head. Is it part of this plan that we used to hear about where everybody relies on the state? The state runs your lives. Well, many of us over the years have paid for what we should get in the future. And what happens when this goes down? Everybody relies on the states. That's the point where they take over, they take control of your life, they take control of your finances, what you eat, what you drink, where you go, what you see, what you say even. But the point of this is they can't do anything that they want to do without money. And who controls the money? Well, the banks do. And can you imagine if the banks called in these loans of billions upon billions that they've been lending the government over the last 2 years? There goes the government's control. It's the banks that control what happens. Now, don't forget, they've borrowed all this money on our behalf. Now, I don't remember giving anybody permission to borrow money on my behalf. You borrow money on someone's behalf without their permission, it's fraud, isn't it? It's illegal. Just a thought. And I never gave Hancock permission to give millions away to his buddies either. Of our money. Mine and yours. And yeah. And yesterday I actually big upped Patel for what she stood up in the House and was saying. And 3 hours later, what do we hear? Well, we knew there was a multi-million-pound processing centre being built on the Dover docks. But this is how intent she is on stopping it, and just basically how all her words in Parliament yesterday were lies. Otherwise, they wouldn't be taking over, which is basically a training centre. I believe it's for the Army, or maybe even the RAF. Multiple buildings and blocks for another processing centre. Does this sound like the actions of someone who's going to allegedly stop them coming? And it was funny, just after I announced yesterday that it had been very quiet out there, within half an hour Tracy pops up. Aaron Allied bringing more in. Same again today. I told you that girl doesn't miss a trick. If they're coming, she's there. It's got beyond a joke now. It really is. Something's got to be done. Well, that's about it from what I got in my notes today. I got a shed load of more notes there, but as I've always said, a lot of it can't be put out on here. But there was another couple of ones I wanted to bring up. So it's now Sir Lewis Hamilton. ITV cocked that right up anyway. They said he's the first racing driver in history to be knighted. You're wrong. How do you think Jackie Stewart became Sir Jackie Stewart? You clowns. Yeah, you can't even report the real news right. But all I see is this is the first of a long line of BLM supporters getting a sword waved over their heads. Absolutely ridiculous. He's political. He's a good driver. I won't take that away from him. He's one of the best there's ever been. But to use that position to publicise, I'm not going to call them radicals, I'm just going to call them movements that we know what they stand for. He shouldn't have had that honour, in my opinion. But then, I can't remember if I told you about the guy over there in old Sugar's island prison of New Zealand. Well, apparently he was arrested taking a jibby jab. I don't quite know whether it was a booster or a normal one, under false name, to get someone else the jabby passport that they use over there. So once he'd been arrested for this, they actually found out that he'd already done it 10 times that day for various people using various IDs. So not only that day had he had 10 jabs, apparently he's done it before. Well, now this is going to highlight several things, and God help us if mainstream media jump on this, because I can imagine it now. Man takes multiple shots, but it's perfectly safe. There's nothing wrong with him at all. Or could it prove what's in it don't harm you because it's not what they say it is, and it's just a big con? Or he could start growing multiple arms and legs. You know, maybe this could be the first virus-human hybrid. Oh man, what my head goes through. But anyway, I'll leave that one with you guys. As always on a Friday, tomorrow I don't know what happens, where my day's going to go. It's just one of them days of the week which I always put aside to myself, because as you know, most weekends I'm out doing a bit of work, and I just play it by ear. If mates turn up here, fine. If not, a few texts, calls get bantered about, and I'll go off visiting them. So I never know. But anyway, people, until the next one, I won't bore you much more. Welcome to the new subs, as I say. Much appreciate the support, as I do from everybody on this channel. And my respects to each and every one of you. And to the new subs, I always say, if you've got something to say, you've got an opinion, YouTube do remove comments regularly on this channel. I am heavily monitored. I do have an email. I do have a WhatsApp. Feel free to make a comment on either of those if you don't want to put it there in public. I will reply to you, but I never ignore anybody, and any comments that are removed are not removed by me. I don't remove anybody's comment, even if their opinion's the opposite to mine. They have a right to their say, the same as I have. But my respects to you all until the next one, and obviously, as always, stay safe, stay strong, and fight the tyranny and the oppression. Respects, people. I'm gone.